rescue crews saved 3 Canadians in an attempt to locate dozens of missing climbers in Nepal. Canada doubles its financial aid to fight Ebola. And the U.S. steps up airstrikes against ISIS. Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Ainsley Smith, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. Here are today's top stories. Rescue efforts have been called off today for any survivors trapped in the mountains of Nepal. Reports say 3 Canadians, including 2 Ottawa women, are safe after a powerful storm blew through a popular hiking area. 4 Canadian hikers have died. Virginia Schwartz posted a message on Facebook today saying she and a second woman are trekking out of the avalanche danger zone. Reports say at least 27 hikers are dead following the avalanche and blizzard in the Napier Circuit, and at least 85 climbers are still missing. 3 Quebecers are said to be among them and feared dead. Rescue workers will be back on the mountain tomorrow. The world is stepping up its fight against Ebola. Canada is set to contribute $30 million to help local authorities limit the spread of the deadly virus. Hospitals are ramping up training for staff dealing with Ebola cases after 2 nurses caring for an infected patient in Texas tested positive. The second nurse with Ebola had slight fever before boarding a flight from Ohio to Dallas, in spite that she was cleared to fly. U.S. health officials are being called to testify before a congressional committee today to explain how things went wrong. The United States and its allies have dramatically stepped up airstrikes in the past 2 days near the Syrian town of Kobani. Coalition airstrikes have escalated in recent days, with ISIS targets around Kobani being hit almost 40 times in 48 hours. The plight of the Syrian Kurdish rebels in Kobani have provoked riots among Turkey's 15 million Kurds last week, in which at least 35 people were killed. It was an emotional 4th day in the sentencing of Olympian Oscar Pistorius as the victim's family finally took the stand. Reva Steenkamp's family broke down during the testimony in the sentencing of Pistorius. He was convicted of the culpable homicide in his girlfriend's death. Steenkamp's cousin says Pistorius needs to pay for what he did. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in Belgrade this morning to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the city's liberation. Putin joined Serbia's president at the Liberations of Belgrade Cemetery to lay wreaths of memory of World War II soldiers. A military parade is expected to take place with tanks, boats, and a flypast, followed by a speech by the Russian leader. Here at Toronto, police have made an arrest in connection to the shooting deaths of 2 Toronto teenagers in Etobicoke last week. Police have charged a 17-year-old boy with attempted murder, as well as several weapons-related charges. The teen appeared in court for a bail hearing yesterday. Drivers across Canada are getting a big break at the pumps this week. Prices have dropped from coast to coast, but as we hear from Adriana Jung, it's not all good news.
Canadian gas prices are low and they keep sliding. The average price today in Ontario is 118.5 cents per litre. Fardo Sahashi says she spends around $20 a day on gas and couldn't be happier about the price drop.
At least $20 a day. But I have noticed that now $20 will pump my car a lot more, and I'm getting a lot more for my buck.
Steve Bang, a professor from the School of Business at Humber, says the low prices are simply a result of supply versus demand.
Because of this huge stockpile, we've got huge demand, or huge supply, I should say, and we've got a lower demand, which means by basic economics, the price is actually going to drop.
Bang says a drop in gas prices is often linked to a drop in the Canadian dollar. The effects of this can be seen at more than just the pumps.
Everything we buy today is taken in a truck or a train, and it's all fossil fuel related. So as those prices go down, it's cheaper to get those goods to market. On the other side, if we're buying offshore, it's going to cost us a lot more money.
Bang says if the loonie continues to drop due to low gas prices, it will cause inflation in the Canadian economy. He says it'll take months before the supply and demand balances out. I'm Adriana Jung, Humber News.
Door-to-door mail delivery is a danger of being a thing of the past, but postal workers are trying to preserve it. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers is planning a legal challenge with support from seniors group and organizations for people with disabilities. The group says home delivery is a decision for Parliament and not Canada Post, and the decision should be made with proper consultation. Holy nerds, Batman! The Student Center is being overrun with superheroes. It's the Comic Expo, and our reporter Victoria Shaka joins us live to tell us all about it.
Thanks, Ainsley. I'm live here at the Comic Expo happening here at Humber North Campus. Superheroes and villains have descended on Humber's North Campus, ready to greet fans and tackle crime. HSF's second annual Comic Expo is taking place at the Humber Student Center. There are illustrators, vendors, and cosplay fans gathered to make this year's event extra spectacular. I got to speak with some cosplay members at the event.
I was talking to people in line and they were saying how good it was that geeks were allowed to express themselves now. For the longest time, they were kind of shoved under the rug. I never let that happen. I always had my geekdom shine.
Unfortunately, the only costume that I could afford was the Captain America onesie.
Okay.
People of different programs are just here together, sharing our one common love for comics, video games, just being geeks.
They just announced the winner of the costume contest. I'm here with Daniel Bennett, the winner. Daniel, your costume looks amazing. How did you prepare for this costume?
Well, I looked at something I really liked was Diablo 3, and I saw the villain, Malthael. His costume looks really cool, and I thought it would be a good challenge for me.
Awesome, and you also won a PS4. How does it feel?
It's really awesome. I've been looking forward to getting one, and I've heard so many good things about The Last of Us, so I've been really looking to try it out.
All right, thank you so much, Daniel. If only these superheroes can save humanity from today's headlines. Reporting to you live from Humber North Campus, I'm Victoria Shaka, Humber News.
Thanks, Victoria. Speaking of nerds, our reporters have discovered that it's Dictionary Day. We sent Marlon Gomez to find out if Humber passes the vocabulary test.
Dictionary Day was created to celebrate the contributions of Noah Webster, the father of the modern dictionary. Prasad Bidiye, a professor and coordinator for the English department, says students need to work on their words.
So I would say that the students are in the right place to be, which is Humber College, and taking RIT courses, and I would say that they need them.
We asked students at Humber what grandiloquent, carouse, and flagon all meant. Here's what they had to say.
Grandiloquent.
Okay, what do you think it means?
I'm gonna guess it's like a large bottle of some kind of lubricant.
Grandiloquent has to it has to do with speech, right? And it has to do with speaking in a grand way, speaking in a way that's kind of classical, maybe maybe even outdated as well too.
A flagon is like a jar, usually with booze.
My guess with flagon is that it's a chemical or an element.
A carouse.
Okay.
I would say maybe another form of caressing somebody.
Carouse, I think this probably means to go around, to travel, to move. I'm thinking something like a carousel.
For those of you who think words are not your strong suit, make sure you come into the library here at North Campus, check out all the books and all the dictionaries it has to offer. Myself as a reporter, all this word talk has got me pretty thirsty, so I'm going to go ahead and carouse with my flagon to celebrate the rest of this day. Marlon Gomez, Humber News.
When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Cheyenne Lynch will have your 3-day forecast.
There is no sunshine in the forecast for today. We'll stay above seasonal with a high of 18 degrees with a chance of showers dropping down to a low of 10. We will have your 3-day forecast and more coming up later on in the show.
Break. But first, some priceless statues are making headlines in Europe. The Greek government has hired a famous lawyer to fight for the return of the Parthenon marbles. The statues currently reside in the British Museum they were taken from in Greece in 1801 and sold to the British government. The Greeks have been campaigning to get them back since the opening of the Acropolis Museum in 2009. George Clooney's new wife is part of the legal team advising the Greeks, and yesterday she made a plea for the statues' return.